John, I suppose I should say congratulations because you've signed your first player as Mansfield Town manager, Andy Cook. Tell us about him firstly.
He's a physical presence, a focal point for us to play into and play off and get players around. That doesn't mean we're going to be route one. It means that you've got somebody that can keep the ball in the opponent's half and can build from it. I think it's something we lacked last season after the injury to Davo. He's a physical presence, so I think he'll, certainly strengthen our options going forward. And I think there'll be defenders in League Two that won't be looking forward to playing against him.
It is a big signing, this, isn't it? Because not only is he a prolific goal scorer, his record shows that, even in League One last season in his maiden term in the third tier of English football, but also you fought off interest from other clubs to gain his signature.
Yeah, when a player scores the amount of goals he did in League One in a relegated team, there's always going to be interest, and none of them were penalties either, so it's a good return. There was always going to be interest in him, but thankfully the chairman supported me with this signing and the CEO managed to get it over the line, and we look forward to working with him.
Yeah, those discussions were quite lengthy today, weren't they, and extensive between Mansfield and Walsall.
They have been for a number of weeks now. These things don't happen overnight because of the interest from other clubs and agents and what have you. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to working with Andy. He's somebody I've played against in the past, somebody I've watched from afar and admired. And I think he brings something different to the team, and I'm sure he'll be beneficial to the squad.
You've told us about him in good detail. What was he like to mark?
Strong. Like I say, he'll compete every ball. I think we lacked that a little bit up top last season when balls were, fight balls. I think it's important that you're competing for every inch on the pitch. He'll give us that. But he's also got a knack of popping up with goals here and there of all different variations as well. So he's strong when balls are coming into the box from wide areas, and when you've got wide players like CJ Hamilton in your team, that's going to be important. But also when he's in and around the 18-yard box, you can bounce balls into him and get players running off him and combining on the edge of the box, which is the plan.
Elsewhere, you provided supporters with a useful update last week, I think it was, perhaps earlier this week. The days roll into one, don't they? One of the notes, of course, was about a bid for another striker. You've obviously signed Andy Cook now, but another striker was also in your viewfinder. What's the latest on that? Can you bring us up to speed with your potential new signing?
So we're looking to bring another centre forward in of high quality. I don't think a fee will be involved in this particular player, but we've got a number of targets. The one we're trying to get is of real high quality. I can't really say much more than that, but I mentioned in the press last week, as you touched on there, Steve, that we have to be patient. Just because we've got very successful and wealthy owners doesn't mean that they can add zeros to the transfer fee or to the wages. We need to be respected like any other football club. We're a business, and we need to run like one. With
that said, are you hopeful of getting further players in before the trip to Portugal on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'd expect probably a signing or two in the early parts of next week. But again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Things can happen that change circumstances and what have you. But I'd be hopeful of maybe one or two signings before we go Portugal, and the market's still open, and there'll be action probably between now and the start of the season.
We'll speak more next week. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Steve.